glorified AAC,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
a great point.
Yeah. All right, let's from Saudi Arabia to another mystical, magical foreign land. Chris in Missouri.
Right smack in the middle.
You are on the Bet US call line. Thanks for your
top
call.
that one, Chris.
I've been to Saudi Arabia. I was there for both the Gulf Wars, so I don't know if that counts.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely does.
My question may not be a popular one, but I'm wondering, Art Briles, he's kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, but he's not really welcomed back in the U.S. I'm wondering, because people have a short memory, people forget about Penn State, the NCAA cleared Baylor. I'm just wondering, at what point do you think Briles will come back and be a coach somewhere? Because he was too good a coach not to be leading a program somewhere. That's just my question, and thanks.
I don't think...
Chris, thanks for the call.
Look, and this is juxtaposed to Urban Meyer, who has always, until 24 hours ago, been able to blame everything bad that's happened at a program on something else, and maybe justifiably or non-justifiably so. That's another question for another time. Art Briles, for whatever reason, the toxicity attached to his name is so much more than any other coach's.
Everyone combined.
Everyone combined. I don't know why he gets more than everyone else. We know the situation was bad here. And the NCAA said in the report, while they cleared Baylor from the docket and they didn't punish Baylor for much of anything, what they did say in the report about Art Briles was very damning and not very good. And so I think that's going to hang over, and I think it's... I believe in second chances. I believe in second chances for a lot of people. I do think that one of the things that Art Briles has never quite really done is he's never got 100% over the goal line of where his place was in all this. He has acknowledged at best 75% of it, and I think he needs to go the whole 100 to even get that chance. There are places that he would do a great job at. He's a great coach. But I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
He's a Hugh Freeze hire away from being the head coach at Liberty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be his best bet, would be to go reunite with his old Baylor AD, Ian McCaw, at Liberty. And we know that they pretty much can do what they want over there, right? So I'm sure that they would, be ready to deal with any kind of backlash. One problem is that he's getting older, right? How old is he now? He's 60-something, right?
He's in his upper 60s.
Yeah, so he's kind of older for a coach, especially one that's been out of the game now for
65.
Yeah, so 65 years old and has been out of the game now for the most part for like the last 5 years. So that's, I think, somewhat problematic. And to Paul's point, I don't know what he did to so many people. I know that there were people in Stephenville that had their issues, whether it was the rumors about steroids or it was the rumors about this or that. But the amount of vitriol and just pure hatred that was spewed at him from every angle when he was first, spotlighted as being a part of this story. You would have thought he was a mass murderer. I mean, it was unbelievable the amount of real hatred from people that came out towards him. I've never seen anything like it ever. I've
never seen that even at a former president.
No, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. You're right. And one of the things is it's almost like it's really, that doesn't mean that he couldn't have been more forthcoming with some thoughts and emotions about it. And in fact, the question I asked him one time, it was as if he had killed everybody in your family.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, regardless of what happened or didn't, just the reaction that I remember towards him and how toxic that was. And anytime he tried to say anything, it was it didn't matter if he said the best apology ever, which he never did, but even if he had, it would have been thrown into the water right away, and people would have just been like, nope, don't believe you. So I know what he did.
He won where you're not supposed to win.
Yeah, but
you
my
beat
gosh,
people
man.
You're not supposed to beat. And I along with it was the timing of, and it didn't help that every single day there was something on outside the lines where now with others who have had their issues, it's kind of like
there is no outside the lines, basically. Yeah,
Bob Lee left just in time for LSU.
Yeah,
I mean, did and among others as well.
The other thing is they couldn't get a job consulting for the Cleveland Browns. Consulting.
Well,
that was a 3-week hitch. He was there for minicamp.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that in the CFL.
The CFL, they wouldn't let him be the offensive coordinator for June Jones in the CFL.
But here's
what
the thing.
happened.
Here's the thing. Is why?
Yeah.
Because people
were mad.
got pissed.
It was a
That's what
social
I'm
media,
saying.
as much social media backlash as anything I think I've ever seen.
He was hired.
And still to this day.
He was hired in the
Cleveland
CFL.
Browns owner knew he was coming. And then all of a sudden, his wife's at a country club, and all of a sudden, some people say something to her, and all of a sudden, the owner tells who was the coach?
I think it was Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson, I think we don't need him around here much longer. The same thing with June Jones in the Canadian Football League. They hired him. And I know he's been in Italy. He's back in Italy again. And I said this before.
Is
and
he
I probably,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I worded this wrong the last time I said this. And I don't. It took a superintendent in Mount Vernon, Texas, to hire him, know he was going to get hammered, and he dealt with it. He hired a PR guy in Brett Shipp who handled it. And you know what? Eventually, that kind of died down.
It lasted his first practice.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And that's why I thought.
And a couple of columns.
I thought after that, when I was driving home from, John Werner and I were driving home from Mount Vernon, and I thought, all right, well, if people look at this, if they want to hire him in college, after the NCAA thing is over, this lasts a day. The storm lasts for a day if you really wanted him, but it's many not worth it.
It's lasted for 5, 6, or 7 years.
Yeah.
And there are some things that are still there that people do question, but it's almost as if he's become the poster child for not getting a second chance.
Yeah, it's bizarre in the fact that we can see Dave Bliss get multiple coaching jobs after what he did, and there's
At a high school too.
There's far,
which have been way worse.
At a private Christian high school.
Yeah.
At a private Christian high school, Dave Bliss can be hired, but others, they're totally awful. And so that goes back to what I was saying. I think the biggest reason why he hasn't been hired somewhere other than just people's uproars, there's just, I don't know what it is, who he crossed, whatever. I know he had dealings with certain people at Stephenville and all that, like I said, but I've just never seen anything like the reaction that he got as far as just like 100% absolute hate, no second chances, no chance.
There are still some today that think he should be like in hell.
Going back to your question, no. I mean, outside of like Liberty with Hugh Freeze leaving to go somewhere else, I don't see many opportunities out there in college for him, but he's a hell of a coach. I mean, no one can deny that. And you're seeing his seeds basically in the SEC right now, to some extent with Kendall at Arkansas, and then Jeff Lebby for sure at Ole Miss.
Yep. Appreciate the time. Appreciate